Hey, this is Kyle here from the Ninja team, and I'm here with Tiani, who has been teaching in Vietnam for a year, as of 2 days from now. And I just want to share a little bit of her experience, how it's been going so far, and yeah, glad that you're here.
Great, thanks for having me.
Cool. So first of all, where are you from?
I'm from New York City.
And you've lived there your whole life?
No, I was born in China, northern China, and I immigrated to America when I was 4 years old with my family, and we spent my entire childhood in Virginia, and I moved to New York City when I was 17, and I lived there for about 8 years, and now I'm here.
Cool. What were you doing in New York?
I went to university, and then I had a career in fashion.
How long have you been teaching in Vietnam? A year, but what made you decide to come abroad in the first place?
Well, I wanted to live somewhere else. I want to live all over the world, and I wanted to change careers. I think we live in a time when it's okay to have multiple careers in one lifetime, and teaching English is one of those things where, luckily, here in Vietnam, it's for a good cause. You do get paid and treated well, and the cost of living is low, so all of the sum of its parts made me come out here.
Yeah, and you were saying before at lunch that like you were researching like different things of how to get into a new career, and it just kind of popped up teaching in Japan.
Yeah.
And did you ever consider Japan too, or?
Well, no, because even though it's still teaching English, the hours will be different, the pay will be different, the culture is different, and I mean nothing against Japanese culture, of course. I'm actually part Japanese, but it's there's a lifestyle here that is very attractive, and in Japan I would have to work a lot more, and it would be a much stricter culture.
Yeah.
And it's a place that I would love to travel to, but I don't think that I would be teaching there.
Yeah, I agree. I feel the same way. Like I'd love to go visit Tokyo, just a big international city, but yeah, Korea was the same way. I taught there for a year, and it's just parents are a lot more strict and care a lot more about English, and here they do too, but it's a lot more intense for the teacher. So what kind of students do you teach?
I work at a private center, so my youngest is 4, and my oldest is, I'd say about 15 or 16, but it's all, weekends and weeknights. So those are the types.
Yeah, after school types.
Yes. They usually look very tired, and yeah, teacher, can we play a game? And I'm like, oh.
You don't play games?
No, we play games. We do, but you need to buckle down, and it's not always just about having fun. As much as we would all like to have fun, learning a language is, you've got to memorize stuff and pound it in there.
Yeah, maybe you should do like a game sandwich, like game difficult stuff.
I do, and I sympathize, because it's not like in America where we have our school day. We have some of us have cool elective classes that are fun and are supposed to be fun. And then you maybe have an extracurricular club or sports. Like, it's very different out here. The students are very tired at the end of the day, and they're here at school again. And yes, of course they want to play games, but sometimes as the teacher, you kind of have to be like, no guys, come on, grammar, let's do it.
Yeah. What's your biggest challenge with teaching? You could take this to mean like age group, or like classroom management, or what aspect of it?
I think I had very high expectations when I first started teaching, because my experience of Asian culture when I lived in the States is that you listen to the teacher. You do not show disrespect. You're there to learn, and you're lucky to have an education. At my campus, one of the teachers asked everyone else, like, do you always have a troublemaker named Hao or Bao? It's like those two names always come with this personality. It's like, I don't know.
I haven't had that.
No, like, maybe we're all talking about the same kid. We just all taught him.
As he grows up, he's
maybe. I was like, yeah, I also have a kid, and he has the exact same name. And it's really just about keeping your expectations in check. Because
should you not have expectations about Vietnam?
No,
Or
it's
expect?
more like you can't expect to please all of them or make all of them learn.
Yeah.
You can only go in there with the best intentions of bringing this knowledge of a language to these kids and hope that the ones who do want to learn will get something out of it, and the ones who don't want to learn, don't let them get to you. That's really what it is, because I let it get to me so much, and now I've let it go. It's much easier to be a teacher once you keep your expectations in check.
Can't take things personally.
Yeah.
On the positive side of things, what do you like about teaching in Vietnam?
I actually do really love kids. I do. Besides everything that I just said, I do love them. It's fascinating, especially if you teach at a language center and you get to see the whole range of ages. It is very rewarding when you start teaching a child and then after 3 months that child is talking in complete sentences. Like I'm talking about 4-year-olds and they're speaking one word at a time,
Yeah.
and then they start speaking full sentence. And you see them like very attentive. It feels good. It really does. You feel like you're doing something good. And the language center that I work at is very flexible with my hours. But they're flexible with my hours because I make them be flexible. Because sometimes if they see that they can push you around, they will. And you end up working like 35 hours a week and not having a single day off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I hear from a lot of coworkers, and you just need to know it. That being said, because I have good work hours, I can travel when I want to, and I have free time to do the things that I want to do. I have a lot of hobbies, projects that I'm working on, and it offers a really good lifestyle. If you have to know what you want, I think. I always ask, why am I doing this? And I have to always have at least 3 good reasons.
Teaching or what?
Anything. But yes, teaching, like why did I come out here? And with every big decision, it can't just be one reason. I have to have like 3 or 4 or 5 really solid reasons. And once I get there, like once I got here and got into the swing of things, I always kept those reasons in my mind to make sure that I'm sticking to it, you know? Because the beauty of living out here is you get to have a lot of free time, and some people can abuse that, or they let it all just slip away and take it for granted.
They can forget their real reasons for coming out here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good to have your reasons and your big goals written down
Yeah.
on the wall in your bedroom and
Yeah.
revise them every morning and evening.
Revise them every morning and evening.
I'm trying to get into a habit of doing that, like just goals in general, like a weekly goal. Read them out loud in the morning and in the evening to drill them subconsciously into my brain to make them more likely to happen.
Okay.
So those, along with like big motivations for being in Vietnam, so you don't forget why you're really here. Could you share maybe some of your all-time favorite best working activities, games, or anything else you think that works really well at captivating students and making it fun?
They're Family Feud. Do you know that? You know that TV show?
Of course.
It's like Steve Harvey.
Do you make it, or do you?
I looked up some questions on the internet first, but then I started making my own because, it's an American show.
Yeah, it's all like American culture stuff.
Yeah, so I started doing very simple ones, like 4 places where you need to be quiet.
Okay.
It's very, you have to tailor it, because I did do a few questions where I answered it how I would answer it, and I'm American.
Oh.
And when my students saw the answers, they were like, what is that? Like, we don't even know. And it was a very simple question. It was, what are the 4 most popular apps on your phone?
Oh.
And I put like WhatsApp and Snapchat and Instagram and stuff. And some of my kids didn't know what WhatsApp was.
What do they say, like Zalo?
Something, yeah, stuff like that. And they were talking about apps that I didn't know about.
Oh.
So little details, which are really fun to
They're
learn.
learning experiences, yeah.
But then it's like, okay, I messed up that question. Move on to the next question. Like, what are 4 animals that everyone's afraid of? Something like that.
Maybe get a Vietnamese student to help you write the questions next time.
Maybe. I like to be friends with my TAs.
Yeah.
I have one that I'm rather close to, and it's great to ask her certain things about just the culture and just about living in Vietnam. Where can I get this and this?
Yeah.
they're very helpful.
Yeah. I actually bought Family Feud, the board game, when I went home last time, and I brought it here. And like you said, it's like a lot of just like things only Americans would know. So I should write my own things next time.
I also love. There's a lot of worksheets you can find online that are like fill in the blank, match the fragment sentences of pop songs. You can find them all on ISL Collective. You just search
ISL?
I know it should be ESL,
ESL.
right? It should be, but it's ISL. You just search a pop singer or any singer, and they have worksheets made for you of some of their songs, and there's like fill in the blank or matching or like cross out the extra word. And I did like Katy Perry songs or Taylor Swift songs, pop songs that they normally know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a nice break in the class, and it's really nice to do before break time or like right after break time to settle them in and get them engaged again. And like their interest is sometimes they think it's too hard. You really do have to tailor this complicated songs with like I did the Justin Timberlake song "Can't Stop the Feeling," which is very fast.
I think I have done that one too.
Yeah.
I just did like fill in the blank words, not like a whole clause.
For my older ones, I do like the fast songs, and there's more complicated things in the worksheets. But for my little ones, it's like you have a word bank, just fill it in, and you can slow down the song on YouTube in the settings.
Yep.
And yeah, I love doing it. I do that every single class.
Cool. That's ISL.com.
ISL Collective, just Google that,
Okay.
and then you'll get the link with all the stuff. And they have other things too. They have other games.
Cool. And then for Jeopardy, how do you set up the teams? Like, how do you actually?
Family Feud?
Yeah, Family Feud.
I separate them into teams of 4, sometimes 5, and I tell them, all right, you have to discuss the 4 answers for this question and make sure you all agree. And yeah, that's it.
So you don't buzz in?
No, I reveal the questions on the answers on the PowerPoint.
So each group thinks of the answers, and if they're up there, they get a point.
Yes.
Okay. The number of points that it's worth.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, they get very excited because when you reveal each answer, there's all this cheering.
Is it like a PowerPoint you downloaded from the internet?
I make it myself, but once you make it, you can use it like forever.
You made it with the sound effects?
I didn't do sound effects, but like it has like animation, like it appears, this one appears,
Oh,
this
okay.
one appears.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but to put in the hours before, you can just keep on using them. I've used that same PowerPoint for like 10 different classes. It's great. But once you get into the swing of teaching, since I've been out here for a year, like you can start recycling your games and your worksheets. I don't really make new stuff anymore.
Yeah, and every new class you have is going to think it's new and fun.
Unless you get a repeat class, then it's like, oh, great.
How often does that happen now?
I've had the same class 2 courses in a row, so I had them for like 4 months, and I had to make new stuff. And they're also very smart.
Wouldn't it be, are they 3 months long? So it'd be 6 months? Or is it
Two-
is it an adult class?
It was like maybe it was 5 months long that I had them, because I think it was 10 weeks.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So when I saw them again, I was like, I'm happy to see you again, but oh no, I gotta come up with new stuff because you've done all this stuff already.
So you love to travel frequently. What are your favorite places you've been in Asia since being there now?
Well, I started working right after I finished the course, so many people like to go on like a big trip right before they work and settle down. But I took 2 weeks to go see northern Vietnam, which I really enjoyed. I did hiking and trekking in Sapa, and I went to Ninh Binh, which is beautiful, and I saw some of Hanoi.
How was the weather when you were there though?
Ninh Binh was very hot. Hanoi was very hot. I also went in late May.
Okay.
It was rather hot. Sapa was cool. Sapa, you have to be careful because it does get rather cold.
I thought you said it was like really foggy and rainy.
Foggy and rainy, and then cleared up for a couple days, thankfully. But you should bring a jacket when you go there. Just pay attention to the weather, anyways. I mean, Vietnam is so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. That was very enjoyable. And I had to do a visa route in Bangkok, So that was only a 3-day trip, and it was really nice to see another city. I did not know it was called the Big Mango, and being from New York, the Big Apple, I thought that was very amusing.
Why is it the Big Mango?
Because it's a big cosmopolitan city, but it's tropical, and there's a lot of mangoes.
They took after the Big Apple?
Big Apple.
Oh, okay. I never
Big
knew
Apple.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do in Bangkok?
I love museums, and I also draw a lot, so one of my favorite things to do when I travel is to go to any museum and just sit there and draw for a few hours. I think it's much better than just taking a photograph, which unfortunately most people.
Oh, so you draw the art?
I do.
Oh.
And in Asia, it's so nice to have all this different architecture. I mean, different. After a while, the temples all kind of run together. You know what I mean? But it is nice to take a break from over sightseeing and really examining these tiny little details that can sometimes get lost when you're in this region of the world, because it is still developing, and it's there are a lot of similarities, but when you do take the time to notice the little differences, I think it's very rewarding. So I went to the Grand Palace, which is beautiful, and I saw a lot of the Wats, the temples, lots, and yeah, did things like that. Oh, got a massage every day. The two biggest reasons I moved out here to Southeast Asia are tropical fruits, which I love, and the cheap spa treatments, which I also love.
Was every day massages necessary? Did you feel like it was worth it?
Well, I was only there for 3 days, and when there is
okay.
a massage parlor, like 10 of them on every block, I'm just like, okay, fine. You know? It's just so nice to treat yourself, you know? Like, you don't drink, right?
Very rarely.
Right, like I don't drink, and it helps a lot with budgeting and things like that. But when you do spend the money, it's so nice to spend it on something that is good for you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel great, and you really feel like you're like taking care of yourself. It's a treat. It's, you know.
You don't feel bad.
No, I don't feel bad. I'm like, that was money well spent. I'm so relaxed now. My feet are so pretty.
Would you rather lose all of your money or all of your pictures?
All my pictures. I'll take one.
All your memories? They're all up here?
Yeah, actually they are.
Hmm.
I have, it's almost, sometimes I meditate, and I like to just go back into, a point in time, a place, and I can recall these things. When I swim, I do 50 laps, and I will count the laps based on the year in my life and what happened that year, and I can actually do that.
Wow.
So yeah, I can always take more pictures.
Wow. I have a really bad memory, so I need pictures. If it came down to those two things, I'd probably lose all my money because I can, make it back.
I'll just buy a new camera with my money and take more pictures.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Thanks for being on.
Thank you. Hope I helped.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna be part of Alex's channel more, doing interviews and teacher tips and more things that people in Vietnam currently teaching would like to see, I think. That's it. So yeah.